Hello everybody, this is AShadowbox and welcome back to Flight Simulator X. Now, as you can tell from the title and probably from the new intro, and probably because of this cockpit, we are not in the Boeing 737 this time. We are in A2A's C-172 trainer. A2A had a big sale recently. A lot of their planes were like 35% off or something like that. I don't exactly remember how much off they were, but I got a lot of them. And this is the first one that I'm going to show you. And the reason that we're kind of taking a break from the I can't even think, from the PMDG 737 is because I am about to order a SciTech yoke, throttle quadrant, and rudder pedals. And the next video I'm going to do with the 737 involves flight testing, basically. Basically, I'm gonna want to do circuits around the field and get a feel for the plane. And I want to do that with my yoke. I don't want to get a feel for the plane with my joystick that I have right now. I just feel like the yoke could be a totally different experience, so I don't want to contaminate it by getting things into my head using the stick. I want to learn it on the yoke. But I'm not too worried about a small general aviation craft like the Cessna, so we are going to go ahead and take a look at this today. So this normal price for this is $50 US, and it comes with accu-sim already bundled with it, so we can just take a peek, if I remember the key, at our maintenance hangar here. Alright, so you can see I have flown this plane for a little bit already, and we are using a faster propeller. It's running smooth. You should use cam guard in your oil if you plan on letting the airplane sit idle for a long period of time. Well, I wasn't really planning on letting it sit for a long period of time, it just kinda did. I don't even know what cam guard is. Oh, that. No, we don't need any additive. Should be okay. Let's run the compression test. Alright, fine wire spark plugs. Everything looks alright. Nothing's failed. And we will go ahead. Come out to here. Let's if I can remember all the keys. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it either. It's not this, is it? No. That's our checklists. Where is our... There we go. So our... Go to the cabin. Pitot tube cover. Appears to be removed, if I can remember. It's been a little while. There we go. Pilot's operating handbook is in the plane. Weight and balance. Let's see. We better pull that up real quick. Make sure... Top off our oil. Top off our fuel. We don't really need to. We're just going to do a short flight today. We're at Metcalf Airport near Toledo, Ohio, and we're going to be flying to Put-in-Bay Island in Lake Erie. So everything's fine. We can add a passenger, increase or decrease their fatness, but we're just going to fly ourselves today. Maybe a weekend bag. I don't think a weekend bag would be 85 pounds. Weekend bag would be more like 30 pounds. Even that's probably a little too high, but whatever. Okay, weight and balance set. Parking brake. That is actually not set right now. We need to fix that. Parking brake set. Control wheel lock removed. I've hidden the yoke here. Ignition switch is off. Avionics masters are off. Battery master needs to turn on. Pitot heat on. Fuel quantity checked. Avionics master on. Static pressure alt source valve. That's down here. That is on. Or sorry, it's off. You pull it for on. Annunciator panel test. Testing. Check that appropriate lights remain on. Okay, we're good. Fuel selector, both. That is down there. Both, please. Fuel shutoff valve. On. Fuel selector, both. Yeah, flaps, extend the flaps. Pitot heat off. Avionics master off. Battery master off. Confirm trim is indeed set for takeoff. Left wing pitot tube. Check that the pitot is warm to the touch. It is warm. Fuselage. Let's lock the baggage door. Tail tie down. Remove it. Everything here looks good. I don't think this can actually fail. Everything looks good. Why is there we go, our elevator was stuck in the down position. Right wing looks good. Aileron looks good. Wing tie down is disconnect. Leading edge is damage free. Main wheel tire. I'm not sure how to check the inflation, so we'll just say we did. Drain and inspect the fuel. No water there. Check the fuel level. We are full. Nose. Check the oil dipstick. Full on oil. Nose fuel. Propeller looks good. Clear the air intakes. Checking these things for blockage. Left wing, checking the fuel level, looks good. Checking the fuel over here. Checking the tire, just say we did. Left wing is... Again, I'm not sure exactly what these buttons do, but everything is good. Alright. Good. And we're back in the cabin. So we're not flying with ATC today. Or other planes. So priming for a cold engine, run the fuel pump until pressure rises for 3 seconds. Alright, this is not the checklist. This is just what lean on the ground to avoid fouling the plugs. Check the oil temperature before run-up. Idle under 1000 RPM with a cold engine. Stall speed is 51 knots. Alright. Already did all that. Control wheel lock. On. Off. Test. Fuel selector valve. Both. We did all that. Master switch off. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Alright, starting the engine. Let's crack the throttle. Turn on the master switch. Oh, whoops. Mixture is idle. Anyway, okay. Turn on the beacon. It's already on. Auxiliary fuel pump needs to come on. Mixture rich until stable fuel flow. And set to idle cutoff. Alright, auxiliary fuel pump off. And that is the engine primed. Propeller area is clear. Ignition switch. Start. Alright. It can't be all the way cut off. Duh. That's embarrassing. Mixture. Let's we just need to keep it under 1000 RPM until our engine temperature here heats up to above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Or our oil temperature, rather. Gotta get that viscosity just right. avionics can be on. Let's get everything on over here. And everything's on over here. Pull up the flaps. Alright, let's set up our radios. See, we are going to be using 113.10. And our heading is going to be 080. And we will be moving away from the VOR. Might as well set this one up as well. We're not going to be intercepting another VOR. It's just pretty much a straight shot to the to Put-in Bay. How's that engine temperature? It's getting there. No warning lights. Right before takeoff, seat belts, seats, belts, and doors. Things good. Flight controls. Free and correct. Flight instruments are checked and set. As we can set this over to 080. Fuel quantity is checked. Mixture rich, we won't do that until we're lined up. Fuel selector valve, recheck both. And of course the run-up check, but we can't do that yet. As soon as the engine's warm, we'll go ahead and do our... We'll just do our mags check here at the ramp. Very nicely modeled plane, as always from A2A. Look at that, all the rivets. That's pretty impressive. How's that temperature? 100, just edging up into the green now. Alright, let's go ahead and do our magnetos check. Throttle, let's see, mixture rich. Throttle to 1800 RPM. Alright. Our max test is complete. Everything looking good. Alright, so let's get rolling. Now, I don't actually know my way around Metcalf very well. Or Toledo, it's called Toledo Executive now, actually. Metcalf is its old name. I did notice this thing does not like to turn on the ground unless you give it some brakes. So luckily there's no one at the ramps here today. We can just join up with the taxiway up here. Which one do we have? Not enough to take off. Taxiing a bit too fast. And by a bit, I mean a lot. I believe the wind is set to 0, or at least very close to 0. So we can just pick a runway and go for it. Another really cool thing. I'm not going to do it now. Well, actually I will do it now, but I just won't leave it set now. And plug in your headphones. It muffles the engine noise. How cool is that? We'll leave it like this for now, though. And, need to pull back on the throttle as we're getting carried away. Yeah, I want to listen to the engine on when we are climbing. Wing flaps set to 10 degrees. Mixture to rich. Alright. You can get rid of this now. And let's go. We're up in the air already. Cessna 172 takes off very short, or very short runway with a very short runway. And let's turn to the right. Intercept our radial here. Try to trim the aircraft a bit. This aircraft is very easy to fly by hand as well, as you would expect. It is a Cessna 172. Let's pull our flaps up before we get going too fast. I'm going to keep going to the right to intercept our radial a bit faster. And hopefully this should lead us straight to Putin Bay. My hand is not on the stick right now. It looks like it's flying level, but it really isn't. But it's very stable. Excellent frame rate in this too. Hardly any frame rate hit, for my system at least. If you have a low-end system, you may see some frame rate hit, especially because of accu-sim. And we're above 3,000 feet, so let's lean the mixture a little bit. Get some trim up going. Right, and looks like our VOR indicators are starting to move. Something you do need to be wary of, though, the autopilot buttons are not just click buttons. You have to, like, hold them. Or, like, hold them and push them in. Alright, we're getting on course with the radial, so go ahead and engage. Our nav hold. See if it's going to take it. Now this altitude constrained interior, this is just setting off the alert. You're not setting an altitude to hold. When you hit that altitude hold button, it's going to hold whatever altitude you're at. That's my understanding of it. That's how it seems to work for me. Let me show you this plane in flight. Very nice. And yes, I know I'm in windowed mode with FSX right now, I do have a reason for that though. Um, I have a second monitor. Well, it's not a monitor, it's a TV. And the TV only goes up to 768 resolution. You know, 1366 by 768. And whenever I try to full screen FSX, it goes to that resolution. And so it's just like a box on my screen surrounded by a black border. So until I get my new monitor to replace my other double monitor, you know, I'm getting a second monitor to replace my TV. There we go. That'll be 1080p, and then we'll be able to go back to not windowed mode FSX. Looking forward to it. You can see Put-in Bay is this island right here. We're doing pretty well. It's been a while since I've done a small general aviation flight, so I figured you guys might like it. I've gotten a lot of add-ons lately. Are my headphones on? Yes, they are. Wow. Big difference. See, I got this. I don't. Slow down. Talk. I got this, the 172. I got another A2A plane, another A2A plane, and another A2A plane. And then I also got an Aerosoft plane. Oh. And I got the Quality Wings BAE 146 pack, or Avro RJ? I feel like I'm missing a letter there. Can't wait for their 787. The Quality Wing 787. So in other news, I'm introducing another series to the channel that I have 2 videos recorded for already, but I'm having trouble uploading them. Just driving me nuts. It says 48 hours to upload, and I'm sorry, but I can't go 48 hours without using the computer. Or without using the internet. So I have to figure out a way to make that file size smaller. I tried using Handbrake to contain it in another package, and that brought it down to a 12-hour upload. And I was like, sweet. But then it uploaded, and it said YouTube cannot process this video, upload aborted. So, I don't know. I've got the footage, I just might have to split 2 episodes into 4 or something. And for all of you guys who like both Flight Sim and Farm Sim, have you guys seen the new reveal for the Farm Sim 15 trailer? Looks pretty neat. I'm still not sure if I'm going to get it or not. I like my mods with FS 2013. But they've got a whole new graphics engine and a whole new physics engine. And, I don't know, it looks promising at this point. I'm hoping they add more livestock. It'd be really neat to have to like take care of pigs or horses or something. Or if they redo how you take care of chickens, that would be nice too. Alright, so we're coming out over the lake now. I believe this is the Maumee Bay State Park area, though I'm not positive. It might be further down the coast that way. And this is where, those of you who have paid attention to recent news, about a week ago, Toledo's water supply was contaminated by algae, by an algae bloom. Well, more specifically, by bacteria created by those algae. And the water washing up on the shores was like green. It looked like spilled paint. It was really gross. Thankfully that is over with now. Well, it's not really over. I think the wind just blew the algae at Canada, and Canada could just deal with it. Sorry, Canadians. But hopefully that'll wake people up to understanding that environmental issues are important, and ignoring them won't make them go away. Because the algae are a byproduct of farming runoff. You know, like chemicals and fertilizers sprayed on the fields, then it rains, and all that stuff gets rinsed off the fields and into the sewers and then dumped into the lake. Industry pollution from Toledo and Detroit. Mostly southeast Michigan and northwest Ohio. And it's causing problems for the entire Great Lakes area. Well, for the entire Lake Erie area. I'm really hoping that some environmental issues get passed soon, or some environmental propositions get passed soon to help clean up the lake, because if you don't already know, Lake Erie was really, really polluted, like in the 70s, during, you know, right after the industrial, well, not really our industrial revolution, but when America was still an industrial powerhouse. There was just, you know, a lot of pollution being dumped into the lake, just like, not even treated, just straight dumped into the lake. And this has been and you know, that caused algae blooms back then. And then there was a huge campaign to clean up the lake, and the lake got like really clean started in the 80s, the 90s the lake was clean, the early aughts or the 2000s it was clean, and then I think it was around 2009 or 2010 it started getting really dirty again. And now this algae bloom was the biggest bloom that this area has seen since 2000, or not since 2000, since the 70s. I'm hoping you guys can hear me alright. I know you guys said the engines on the 737 were kind of loud. We're approaching Put-in Bay now. Or Putin Bay, as one of my friends and I call it, just because put in Putin, whatever. Just a stupid thing. Flight time is 23 minutes. And I have severe hiccups again. Let's go ahead and enrich our mixture. You know, turn off the altitude hold. Let's trim the aircraft down. Oh right, when the autopilot's on, it doesn't really like the trim to be reset. So I'll just go ahead and deactivate the autopilot. Now, Put-in Bay is a very short airstrip, also uncontrolled, to my knowledge. It's been a while since I've been here. I usually go to Kelly's Island, which is actually straight in front of us at the moment, but Put-in Bay has a better airfield to land on. I tried flying the Twin Otter to Kelly's Island, and even the Twin Otter had some trouble on that airfield. You really can't take anything bigger than general aviation into it. Can you see that little airstrip that we're aiming for? To our left? At our, like, 11 o'clock there? We are quite high at the moment, but we are losing altitude pretty fast. So I'm not too worried. I'm really looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 5 releasing on PC. And I'm looking forward even more to mods being released for Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC. I'm especially hoping that it won't be called LCPDFR, but I'm certainly hoping that police mods get made for it, because that is a lot of fun, and hopefully it's a better port than GTA 4 was. Oh, the crashes, man, the crashes. I mean, GTA 4 is unstable on its own, but then when you start adding mods into the mix, don't even get me started. I need to land. Let's just bleed some airspeed. Let's just almost cut the throttle. Did you hear that knocking? I did, and it was from in the sim. So we're gonna have to take a look at our maintenance hangar, see if something just got messed up. Stupid tree there. Whoever decided to not cut down that tree needs to be fired from whatever job they have. Oh, bit wobbly. Are we going to lose the speed? Nope, we're still at takeoff speed. Let's go around. I forget how slow, you know, after flying jetliners and larger prop planes, I forget how slow the 172 can actually fly. Let's actually try and approach from this side of the runway without that big tree in the way. Wow, I'm surprised that they don't have the iconic lighthouse on Put-in-Bay, or if that's their representation of it, it is severely lacking. No, that's just a radio tower. Or no, an oil well, maybe? I mean, Put-in-Bay is known for having this great big memorial lighthouse. And they've got the tiny little airstrip that's on the island, but they didn't bother to put in its main attraction. Though I haven't actually... Whoa, that was way too steep of a turn for a 172. I mean, I guess the 172 could do a steep turn like that, considering this is an A2A aircraft, but probably not supposed to. So how not to fly a 172, kids? Anyway, I haven't checked. There might be some third-party add-ons that add it. I just haven't checked. Barely clearing that tree there. Nice touchdown. Let's lean out. Pull up the flaps. Oops, I just realized I never turned on my transponder. Oops. I always forget that. All the time. I can't wait for my yoke to get here. It's gonna be so much fun. Let's cheat and start doing some of the shutdown stuff while we're rolling. Shh, don't tell the FAA. One thing I'll have to show you guys another time is the lighting in this plane. The night lighting in this plane is really nice. Let's go ahead and park over here, just because why not? We get our own parking spot. Because we came from the executive airport. Some rich businessman from Perrysburg or White House has decided that he wants to go to Kelly's Island, or not Kelly's Island, Put-in Bay for the weekend. Ooh, backfiring a little bit there. I think that means I've fouled the plugs, though I'm not sure. Definitely indicates something's not perfectly right with the engine, so I'm a little bit worried. Let's get that parking brake on. Turn off the engine. I'm not exactly sure how to get this thing to go back up here by clicking. So I always just do control lock. Avionics and battery. Alright, let's take a look at our maintenance hangar and see what we broke. It still says it's running smooth. Maybe let's change the oil. Make sure everything here's still good. I don't know when the next time I'm going to fly this is, so let's go ahead and add that. Straight weight. Let's do 20W50 just because. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but why not? I mean, I know it's supposed to affect how well your engine runs in different temperatures, but I'm not sure what that temperature is. Alright guys, well, that is it for our first flight together in the Cessna 172 by A2A. Thank you guys very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more of this Let's Learn series. I haven't flown any of the other A2A aircraft that I purchased yet, so I'll make sure the first time I fly those is on camera for you guys. But I couldn't wait to start playing with this one. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and have a good one.